Good evening, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Tonight we are going to do some decorations. I won't call them snippet clusters because they are. I'm going to use this digital kit with these small decorations that I have fussy cut out, and I have put on a coat of I think it was decoupage glue that was a bit glossy, so they got this little shiny type. I just realized I haven't put on my big light. Now it's maybe a little bit lighter on my table, so they will shine properly. So I thought we could do decorations with these. Not all maybe at the same time, but use a few that we can put something beautiful on. So let's start with these 5, 6, maybe not that one at this time. I want something that is decoratable in the middle with no pattern on, because we are going to put something and leave this frame to be seen, as it's really beautiful. Perfect too. So I'm going to decorate in the middle and use them as snippet clusters decorations. So I'm going to start with some antique book papers, and I'm just going to use small pieces, so it gets some interest on the small beautiful I will put the link to this kit. I don't remember at the moment where I bought it, but I will check it up and write it down below, so you can find it if you would like to. I'm not doing any special work for some special Gigi maker. I'm just using what I thought was beautiful, so I have just bought them and used them. So a little bit distressing on the book papers too, so they won't be totally white. Actually, I think I'm going for antique linen instead. That is less dark. Now I had some vintage photo on them already, but I'm going light. Like so. And then we are going to use laces. I have just cut different small pieces of snippets that I had. So we are going to put that in on these two. So let's start with the book paper, putting that a bit on the side. As we are going to use paper and lace and some decoration flowers. They are beautiful as they are, but I just thought I'd wanted something more on them. I'm not checking which way I should put them, I'm just putting this on. I guess you can see which way you maybe should have them, but I'm not so fussy with that. They are kind of beautiful how you even wing them, so I think that will work anyway. I had crumbled them a bit too, so they will get this creases, so they look a bit old. Can even give them some distress on that creases if you would like to. Makes them even older. So then we are going for a little piece of lace on each and every one of these. And just use what you have. Simple pieces of lace. Just using up some pieces I had laying around from some other projects. I saw this kit and I just fell in love with these. Here in Sweden they are called bookmarks, and we had these when I was a kid, and we collected them and exchanged them and played with them. Never used them as bookmarks, just as a collectible thing. So then I'm going for some textile that are a bit more blingy. Maybe some flowers or pieces of kind of like this. I have cut them off other laces. Putting them on top of the other lace. Still trying to leave the frame so you can see that beautiful flowers and colors. Some of them are coffee dyed and some are just white. Taking a bit different one depending on where I want to have them. It's a bit tough to get them to stick on these papers when I have put decoupage glue on them. They are a bit glossy. So let's give them a little bit extra glue to make sure they will stick. Like that. Then I'm going for some roses, I think, on top of that. I have different colors, pink and white and blue. These are from a long strip of small roses, and I have just cut them in pieces. Some green ones too. Oops, a bit much glue there. And then you can put these on another paper if you would like to layer it, and maybe use it as top spot or pocket, or on the middle of a belly band maybe. So what should we use on this one? Something light maybe. A couple of pink ones, I think. Didn't have any yellow, but maybe coffee dye somewhere. No, not now. So let's go with pink. That's all right too. Where should we put them? The edge like that. I think that will do a little, that little extra in a journal. So that was one way to make these. So I will put that away for some drying. And then I wanted to do something more with old book papers too. I want to have some different ones to choose from. So I'm just ripping this in smaller pieces, so you can add them to something else. This paper is so nice. It is a lot of cotton in it, so it almost feels like textile. I will put a link to that too. I have these in my Etsy shop if you would like to have some old originals to work with. But you don't need to have these old ones. Just take book paper. That works too. Don't need to get anything special to make this. So let's do the same with these ones. We will just decorate them with some different materials and textile and laces. Don't be afraid to cut on your laces and papers. Sometimes they get totally different and looks amazing when you use them. Let's see if we can use up some strips with some color. They felt a little bit boring. So let's use up some colored pieces too. Maybe some brown ones. Have this one with lace prints. Glue these down. Don't overthink it, just put it down. I often can sit and just put down a paper and turn it, and this time I thought, no, just sit down and use up your papers and play. Need a bigger one for this, I think. So we actually can see the text too. I want them kind of to look a bit like labels, or at least I can use them as labels. That feeling that you have something nice to make that little extra feeling on a page. Take that off a little bit. using up some pieces. We have something more with patterns on. I have some more scraps here. Oh yes, I did. This is from cut off from a journal. I want that piece. And that piece. Maybe some dots. Script on the other side or the other way. And you can of course put something the other way. You can rip them like this instead and have them this way in the journal, so you get the script the other way. Kind of like this with the pattern also this way. Take a bit of the boring edge. Was far too long. Okay, we had one more. So let's go for some lace pieces. kind of in the middle somewhere. That in that angle. You don't need to do them all at this moment. I guess it will be boring to see me glue all these laces down the same way. Let's do 2 more. Then we can move to the next step. Put those aside. Also, as we did with the flowery one, I can do those off camera later tonight. So let's go for some roses. I think pink will go nicely with this one. And I'm trying to remember to not cover up the layers. I want to see the paper, I want to see this one, I want to see the lace. So I'm trying to put them on different places so it won't be covered up. Every layer get its own little piece to be seen. I guess we need blue ones for this. Maybe green could have worked too. Maybe the green is even better. Can put some blue on them later, then they will be turquoise. If I should need to change it, I use some other colors. Now, while we have a lot of glue on these peeking out, I will just take my foil with gold and put some on. If it will be needed. Sometimes it will stick and sometimes it's not in the need of having any foil on them. This one wouldn't like anything. Might give it some help then. Not maybe too so much. Gives them that little extra feeling. Then some small piece of bling on these two. Lace or bling. Some extra decorative pieces. That one didn't get any roses. Go with this. Tone this blue down a bit with some distress ink. They were very blue. That was a bit empty, so I'm putting another one there. Was so big, so I think we need to maybe put it on this one. This one needs something more. Bit blingy. This one is still boring. Let's see if we can. I think I want to change change this. Put a bigger one. It was so big. So now when the other one has dried, I'm going to do another little gold edge on them. So I will just put these away and put the glue in front of me so we can give them that little extra shine. So I'm going to use my Dazzling Metallics Deco Art Glorious Gold. And a brush. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of gold on the edges to give it that little extra feeling of luxury. Can put a bit on the roses too. These often had gold or some glittery stuff on them, and then they were that little bit extra when you were maybe when you should exchange them. You got two ordinary for one with the glitter on. You had these favorites ones that you wouldn't give away for the world. I found my mother's old book with these bookmarks. Oops, that was a bit too much. So that's a bit fun. Of course, one of me or my sister has been drawing in it, so some of the pictures were a bit extra colorful. But I'm sure we had fun. I can't understand how my mother could let us play in her book with these beautiful pictures in. But I guess we had a kind mother. So when you fussy cut these pieces, you can have in mind that you can do like this. Then you don't need to cut them so perfect. You can just put gold on the edges and no one will see if you have left a bit of the white on the edge. So let's do these two, give them a little bit of that extra beauty, luxury. I haven't been so fond of gold and glittery things, but just in these books I think sometimes they need that little extra, and I like vintage, and back in the days they often used gold this way to make things look more luxury than they were. At least the poor ones that didn't maybe had so much money to buy expensive and things with gold and jewelry on. Oops. Gold is nice, but maybe not half a can. I love it with the old book paper. Old book paper and gold is perfect together. I often do labels this way. Give them that little extra touch. Okay, there we are. Beautiful decorations, and you don't need to sew them at all. That works perfectly like this if you have a good glue. They won't lose anything of these decorations. So take out your old book papers, your small bling decorations that are laying around. Snippet clusters are always nice to make. If you don't have inspiration for anything else, just do your snippets. That's always fun. So have a nice Friday evening, and see you soon again. Until next time, bye bye from Sweden.